Wait a minute. I haven't marked that one yet.
You don't mind, lady. This weighs a few pounds,
Well,
you
I'm
know.
sorry, but you shouldn't have picked it up so fast.
I'm about to drop it even faster.
All right, I'm finished. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful, lady. Early Halloween.
I got another one here for you, Mrs. McMillan.
Thank you. Gee, what a nice ring.
Thank you. It's a lodge ring.
Oh, it's still very tasteful.
Not large. It's a lodge ring. Although it is kind of large.
Oh, it's not large for a lodge ring. I've seen larger lodge rings. It's very lovely.
Well, I better get this on the truck.
All right, come on, Logan.
Excuse
Let's move it, huh? Where do you want us to send a bill, Commissioner? To you or to the city?
To me. The city can't afford it.
Ah, well, in that case, we'll try to finish on time.
You look awful.
Thank you. Why do you say that?
Because you look awful.
Oh, well, as long as you have a reason. My reason is that I've gone 2 whole nights without any sleep.
I know. I'm sorry that my packing kept you awake, Mac. It's just that the movers told me Friday that we'd move on Tuesday, and Wednesday became Thursday when Friday became impossible because of the extra van.
Sally, it's okay. Promise me one thing we get in the new house.
Okay, what?
Get them to set up the bed first.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way myself because there are certain initiation rites expected in a new home.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll get some sleep, huh? Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, hello there, Fred.
Morning, Commissioner.
Hey, lady. Ain't you afraid he might end up in the wrong house?
Pardon me?
You forgot to put your mark on him.
You want to bet?
Okay, lady. Okie doke. Sign right here, please.
Why? Are you leaving? I haven't even checked all these boxes yet.
Yeah, well, I have. We picked up 34, we delivered 34.
Well, at least let me make sure that they all have my mark on them.
Lady, it's been a long day, and I got a bowl in 45 minutes. And I'd like to put a little something in here first.
Looks like somebody already beat you to it. Wait a minute! You forgot one of your barrels! Get up, Ward. They don't only give me the wrong barrel, they give me a barrel that's damaged. favor, and mine isn't working, and I have to use your...
Of course. Right down the hall to the left.
Not the bathroom. I need to use your telephone.
Sorry, it's right here. Do you want me to leave the room?
No, don't leave me.
Well, that's what I had in mind. How about a drink?
I want the police. Oh, you better do the dialing.
Lady, you look like you've just seen a ghost.
It was no ghost. It was the real thing. I just unpacked a corpse.
A corpse? Here, drink.
922-3299.
Do you use this number often?
Well, I try not to call more than once a day, but sometimes I can't help myself. Here, let me talk.
Commissioner McMillan's office.
Commissioner McMillan, please.
I'm sorry, Mr. Deems. The last three things I said into your machine were lies.
You're sure they were lies?
Terrible lies.
Then you're an exceptional liar, Commissioner. It works fine with your regular liar.
Yes, Anne?
Mrs. McMillan on line 2, sir. Urgent.
Yes, Sally?
Mac?
There's a dead man in one of our barrels.
What?
It was horrible, Mac. All my precautions, and then they did mix him up. It wasn't marked, but it was seeping, so I opened it, and there he was, Mac. In my barrel. Well, in his barrel. It wasn't my barrel. It wasn't marked. Mac, you better get home.
Where are you calling from?
I don't know.
Next door.
Next door.
All right, honey, I'm on my way. Now, listen to me. Don't go back into that house until I get there. Get a squad car over to the house right away. Get my phones installed.
Is he always that nice? I'd like to hang on to that number.
Always. That's why I married him.
Oh, I see. Well, in that case, it'll take him a few minutes to get here, even with your connection. Why don't you finish your drink? If you don't like that, I'll make you a triple stinger. Gloria Shaw, who lived in your house, couldn't get through the day without one of my triple stingers.
Thanks anyway. My husband will be right here, and he always takes care of everything.
I was afraid of that.
Hi, you all right?
I'm all right. He's in the living room by the fireplace. You can't miss
Yeah,
him.
we'll take care of everything.
Mac?
Sally, are you all right?
I'm okay. It's just kind of hard to go back in there.
Are you sure you're all right?
I'm okay. It wasn't one of our barrels, Mac, because it didn't have my little mark on it.
That's reassuring. Sergeant?
Oh, Mrs. McMillan, is there another fireplace?
Another one? No. I told you it's right. It's right there. No, oh, it's right here. Here's my book. Now, this was on top of the barrel when I opened it. It was right on top, and then it fell off like that.
How did you open it, Sally? What did you use?
The poker. And then I dropped it right beside the barrel.
Is this the poker, Mrs. McMillan?
Yes, this is what I opened the barrel with. And then I dropped it right there. I didn't put it back in place. There was a barrel. And it wasn't mine because it wasn't marked. It was seeping. And it was damp. All over this floor. It was damp. And there was a man inside, and he was dead. You believe me, don't you, Mac? Don't you, Mac? Don't you?
Hey, remember how we found this? Saturday afternoon, walking through the woods. Started rain, we couldn't find the car. We found the barn hid in the hayloft, remember? Under the hay, we found this. An original Van Ocker. Today, in any gallery, this painting would bring $10.
You do believe me about there being a corpse here, don't you, Mac?
We're checking with the moving company and with missing persons. Now, would I do all that if I didn't believe you?
Yes, you'd do it anyway. You'd do it to make me feel better.
How would you feel if I didn't do it?
Terrible. I feel better. win. Oh, Sergeant Enright, I'm glad it's you.
Oh, thank you very much, Mrs. McMillan. Commissioner, I checked with the owner of that moving company. He'd left for the day, but I talked to him on the phone.
What did he say?
He was quite upset, sir. Said he didn't know how such a thing had happened. And we're to meet him at 8 o'clock.
Pick me up at 7:30. What about missing persons?
Oh, I brought these along to show Mrs. McMillan. Here you are.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Any luck with fingerprints?
No, sir. Those fresh fingerprints, they all belong here.
What about the van itself?
Well, it did make some other stops, sir, but we'll have a list in the morning. Mrs. McMillan, that corpse that wasn't here, well, how long do you think that man could have been dead?
Well, I don't know. All I can tell you is it looked yuck.
About how long is Yech?
Well, it's not as long as zich.
But shorter than Blich?
Oh, no, he wasn't blech.
I'd say he'd been dead about a day, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Shh, listen. No, did you hear that or not?
Stand back, Mrs. McMillan.
Sergeant Enright, you're still here?
Wertheimer, are you still here?
Yeah. You said to check it out thoroughly.
Did you find anything, Sergeant?
Well, as a matter of fact, Commissioner, I'm afraid I did.
Of course you did. Now tell him.
You got serious trouble with that water heater. Frankly, I don't like the looks of the whole plumbing system.
I take it you didn't find a body in the basement.
A body, sir? No. But I checked everything, including the furnace. Now, that's a good furnace.
Come on, I'll take you down to the police station. You can check our plumbing.
About that plumbing, Commissioner, I'm Moonlight. Now, I can give you a very good price. And the work is guaranteed.
Thank you. We'll keep you in mind. Now, honey, I know this has been rough for you. Your first day at our new home and everything, but try not to let it prey on your mind. You know how you tend to be superstitious.
I'm not superstitious. Do you think we could get the lease on this house annulled?
And how do you get a lease annulled?
By not sleeping here, of course. That way the deal isn't consummated.
Sally, if anything should happen to me, promise me you'll never, ever go into real estate.
I promise.
Okay. Then why don't we stop thinking about the barrel that didn't belong to us and concentrate on all these that do?
Right. I'm going to forget about the barrels and I'm going to concentrate on dinner.
Good idea. I'll make us a drink. Remember which barrel you put the dinner in?
In the dinner barrel.
Good. Where's the drink barrel?
Thanks, Mac.
For what?
Just thanks. Mac!
Yeah.
Mac!
What's wrong?
It's missing. It's not here.
What, the dinner?
The barrel with Aunt Sophie's china. Do you realize what that means?
We eat on paper plates?
The killer got our china. Don't you see? We got his corpse and he got our china.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's one way to look at it, but any way you look at it, we can't eat dinner in our new home without Aunt Sophie's china.
Sure we can. We just won't tell her.
Well, that's not right. We've always had our first dinner in our new home on Aunt Sophie's china every time we've moved.
Well, as long as you're not superstitious.
Mac, supposing that the killer had wanted to put the body in storage and it ended up at our house by mistake, then it stands to reason that our china is in storage at their house.
Possibly. The body was delivered to us by mistake. The dishes could have been delivered to any one of several clients by mistake.
And whoever got my china must have realized that I got his corpse, which proves there was a corpse since my china's missing. Hi, Mac.
Oh, hi.
Mac, if the killer was having the corpse stored, then how did he know so quickly that there'd been a mistake made?
He obviously had a connection with the moving company.
Exactly. You already thought of it.
Yeah, we'll check out both possibilities. Someone intimately connected with the moving company or someone who might have bribed a mover.
Do you know that sometimes I think you could get along perfectly well without me?
I'd never risk it. Why did you put everything back?
Oh, because of, hi, Mac. Mac.
What is that?
What's Pilot doing here? He said he was going to eat first and then bowl.
Good evening.
Well, hello, Commissioner.
I didn't recognize you in your bowling shirt.
Yeah, well, I'm a little late. I gotta run.
Are you aware that a dead body was found in our house in your barrel?
Don't try to pin anything on me. I just pick up and deliver. Pick up and deliver.
And bowl. Stick around, Pilot. We want to talk to you in the morning.
Yes, sir.
I thought you were worried about your waistline.
I'm hoping it'll go somewhere else.
If I were you, I wouldn't change a thing.
Sorry, the bedroom's not in order, Mac. I know I promised.
Under the circumstances, I'll give you one more day.
Thanks. Get a good night's sleep. I know you need it.
Wow, is that bright? Is that the moon, the sun?
I don't know. I'm new in the neighborhood. The new curtains aren't ready yet. I could get the old ones tomorrow.
I'll just wait.
At least it's romantic. I have an idea. Mac! Somebody's out there.
Where?
It's gone.
Probably somebody just walking home late.
There was somebody out there, Mac.
I believe you, honey.
Mac, did you hear that?
I heard you go, Mac.
Well, did you hear what it was that made me go Mac?
No.
Oh,
Cold.
a little, yeah.
Any more blankets?
Not unpacked. I could take it off the window.
You just hung it up.
Well, you've got two options. You can be warm with light in your eyes, or you can be cold with no light in your eyes. Just pick one.
Get the blanket.
Mac! Do you know that man who was going home late? Well, he's going home a little later than you think. He's still there. Well, there was somebody there a minute ago.
How would you like to spend the night at a hotel?
Of course
If
not.
you're nervous about staying here tonight, just say so.
There was a man out there,
I
Mac.
don't doubt that. He probably takes a stroll along here every night.
At this hour?
Come on, Sally, let's go to a hotel.
No, I'm fine. I can sleep now.
Yeah? Swell. The first one asleep, let out a whistle, okay?
There's definitely something or someone out there.
You want me to go down and look?
Please.
Sally.
What?
I think I've been struck blind.
Oh, I put that on you so you could sleep better.
Oh. And then woke me to see if it was working.
Maybe we better call police.
How? Phone hasn't been connected, remember?
Here, put this on. Take this. You might need it as a weapon.
Thanks. If I catch someone, I'll hang him in the closet.
Good luck. Ow! Are you all right, Mac?
There was no one down there, Sally.
But I heard you, Mac.
You heard pressure in the pipes. Wertheimer was right. We have got a plumbing problem.
Why are you getting dressed?
Because we are going to a hotel. Period.
No, we're not. This is our new home, and we're not going to be driven out of it by a bunch of ghouls running around playing musical corpse. Go to sleep, Mac. You're not going to hear another sound out of me, I promise. Mac? Here I go again. I did see him, Mac.
What did he look like?
I don't know. I was too frightened.
You all right?
What are we gonna do, Mac? It's so creepy here.
No luggage? No luggage.
Mr. and Mrs. Stuart McMillan. Funny. Our police commissioner has the same name.
That's funny.
Shall I get a boy to show you to your room?
No, thanks. We'll find it.
Yes, sir. I'm sure you will.
Oh, and I'd like to leave a 6:30 wake-up call, please.
Oh, yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir.
You know what the clerk is thinking. Nice, isn't it? We ought to stay in hotel rooms more often.
I'm not sure my reputation could stand it,
We're married now.
as far as he's concerned.
Do you think we fooled him? Isn't that great? You remember how it used to be before we got married?
Only then hotel clerks thought we were married.
Ha ha! That's what you think.
wake-up call.
Hello? Oh, yes, good morning, Commissioner. Yeah, I was just about to go out. Huh? A hotel? Yeah, sure, I can pick you up. Yeah. Oh, listen, Commissioner, there's a side entrance to that particular hotel. It's not used very much, and I thought maybe you'd like to, slip out quietly without any... The front door? Okay, yeah, I'm on my way. Bye.
We could make an adjustment, Mr. McMillan.
Well, that's all right. How much is it?
$24, sir.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
Hi, Sergeant.
Oh, Mrs. McMillan, good morning.
You seem surprised to see me.
Well, it is an early hour, Miss McMillan.
Sergeant, I would never let my husband leave a hotel at this hour alone. What might people think?
Oh, no, not the commissioner. I mean, who'd think that he'd... Yeah, you're right. Shall we drop Mrs. McMillan off at the house, sir?
No, she's going with us. She's anxious to find out if we can locate her china. One of our barrels was missing.
I see.
What have you found out, Enright?
Well, we're off to see Mr. Buchanan, who runs the moving company, sir. But we've searched both kinds of barrels in storage there, and there's no barrel with a body in it.
What do you mean, both kinds of barrels?
Well, it seems there are two kinds of barrels, sir. There are storage barrels and there are shipping barrels.
And the barrels we received are what, shipping barrels?
Right. Now, I found it's not possible to store a shipping barrel, but a shipping barrel you can store.
I'm not sure I follow that.
Well, let me simplify things. There are two kinds of barrels. There are shipping barrels and there are storage barrels. A shipping barrel you can store and ship, but a storing barrel you can only store. So you can ship a shipping and you can store a shipping, but for storing you can only store.
You mean you can ship a shipping barrel and store a storing barrel, but you can't ship a storing barrel?
Right.
No. You can store and ship a shipping barrel, but you can't ship a storing barrel.
No, Mrs. McMillan, you have it twisted. You can ship a storing barrel, but you cannot store a shipping barrel.
Why is that, Mr. Buchanan?
Because shipping barrels are not as sturdy as storage barrels. So storage can be shipped, but shipping can't be stored.
Oh, so then the body was probably in a storage barrel, right?
I would say there would be no way of knowing without seeing the barrel. In this case, the distinction is rather irrelevant, wouldn't you say?
Irrelevant, Mr. Buchanan? It could be an indication of whether the killer wanted to ship the body or not.
If they knew the difference between shipping and storage barrels. Actually, the whole thing is hard to believe. If it weren't the police commissioner himself, I would say it was absolutely incredible. I mean, there was a body, but there isn't a body.
Mr. Buchanan, Mrs. McMillan is a trained observer.
Thank you, dear.
Compared to your average woman. Now, could we get on with it?
Of course. I have the names you requested. We've been checking all morning. Thank you. Give these to the commissioner.
Hi, Mac.
Oh, hi.
Kitty Winters.
Oh, you know my wife, Sally.
No.
Well, this is my wife, Sally.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do?
The van with your goods made a total of 7 deliveries yesterday. We followed your instructions and haven't contacted any of the people involved. You have the names and addresses of the people who had items stored yesterday. As far as our drivers are concerned, your men have already spoken to them.
We're running a complete background check on all of them now, sir.
Guido Bartoloni. I once defended a Guido Bartoloni. He was a bookie.
Well, you don't run across a name like that very often.
Nor a face like that. He had a scar from his ear right down to his chin.
Anything else I can do, Commissioner?
No, Mr. Buchanan. I'm afraid we've taken up enough of your time. Thank you very much.
I'm sure we'll locate your dishes momentarily, Mrs. McMillan.
Well, if they come before dinner, call me. I'll pick them up myself. I'll go get the drinks.
No, that's it. Good idea. It always hurts when I can't remember a face.
I know, dear.
Of course I remember. I defended her once in court.
What for? Assault with deadly weapons?
Let's go see Bartoloni.
Life without a man. I'm telling you, Commissioner, no woman should be expected to live through
I'll
it.
take that, sir.
When my Guido was alive, you wouldn't even let me lift so much as a sack of groceries. You wouldn't even let me go to the laundromat alone.
Mrs. Bartoloni, how long has Guido been gone?
I buried him last November. What a man. Never late for dinner.
I made gnocchi for him every Thursday, just like the old country. Now, we never have gnocchi on Thursdays.
How did he die?
He was murdered. The mob got him while he was on a trip. The third machine on the left.
Here. I'm sorry about Guido. I always liked him. He was innocent when I defended him. I know that.
Oh, he was. He didn't become a bookie till later. He learned so much about bookie operations from you, he decided to become one.
From me?
Oh, the loneliness, Commissioner. The terrible loneliness. And I hold you responsible. If you hadn't done such a good job defending Guido, he'd be in prison now, safe.
Just put it in the expense account.
What'll I put? Laundromat, 25 cents?
Well, how much did it cost?
That's what it cost.
Well, then put it down.
Okay.
Who else do we have?
Well, there are two pretty good possibilities. There's a Mrs. Sherman. Her husband disappeared a couple days ago, and then there's Jim Wainwright, the baseball player. His roommate dropped out of sight a couple of weeks ago, and both had barrels on that truck.
Well, then let's save a little time and split up. I'll take Sherman.
I'll take Wainwright.
Oh, thanks for letting me in, Mrs. Abernathy. I'll get these drapes back to you within the week. Maybe it'll help with the sale.
Don't bother, Mrs. McMillan. The house will probably sell easier without them.
Watch out!
What's the matter with you? A wind car and some murder.
Listen, what was in that barrel that you lost?
My glove. This chick helped me pack and she put my glove with the stuff to be stored. Dumb broad. We're on our way to Venezuela. Winter tour. But I'm not going anywhere without that glove.
Say, listen. Hey, I understand that you room with Kenny Williams.
Yeah.
Watch out!
Hey, listen, didn't Kenny cut out a couple weeks before the season ended?
Look, none of that stuff's true. He's not running from gamblers.
Would you happen to have a picture of Kenny that I could have?
I don't carry one in my wallet, if that's what you mean.
Well, where could I get one?
Yeah. Take 25 cents and your favorite box stop in you. Okay. I'll get you one.
Watch out!
We're not sure, Mrs. Sherman. There's every possibility it isn't your husband.
Well, I'd like to know for sure, either way. If he's dead, at least I know where he is.
Do you have a photograph of him?
No, as a matter of fact, I don't.
Not even a snapshot? Anything?
Anything? Yeah. There he is. That's Gustav.
Well, I did say anything.
Personally, I think it's too flattering. That's always a danger with self-portraits.
May I borrow it for a while?
As long as you bring it back tomorrow.
I understand. It means a great deal to you.
Oh, you bet it does. I got a buyer.
Mildred, you've got a great pair of legs.
You know, I haven't thought about them in years. Think it's too late to do anything with them?
Why don't we concentrate on your legs tomorrow and think about your room today?
Forget about my room. I'll sleep over at my sister's again tonight. She loves having me.
She's only got one room. Where does her husband sleep?
Out. That's why she loves having me.
Oh, Mildred, I don't think these dishes are going to stay up.
You mean drapes?
I said drapes, didn't I?
You said dishes. Look, I know how you feel about those dishes. I had nice dishes once. You can't get them out of your mind. You get your dishes, you got your home. I'll take care of these.
Oh, no, I'm going to stay and help you.
Mrs. McMillan, these drapes won't stay up unless I can get this rod reinforced. It'll take time.
I'll call Newman's Hardware.
No phone.
Well, there must be a hardware store in the neighborhood.
Yes. 1 block away, right around the corner. I'll go. I can use some fresh air.
Okay. What's the matter?
I haven't got any money. You?
$1. Charge it.
We don't have a charge account.
Open one.
Right. Oh, they'll want references.
Have them call me.
No phone.
Well, hope you can get them for $1.
Well, if it costs any more, I'll use my good leg. Go look for your dishes.
Okay.
I'm leaving, Mrs. McMillan. Don't forget to get your dishes. Goodbye.
Mold it. Why is your husband looking for me?
Well, maybe if I knew who you were, I could... Bartolone!
Will you answer me?
Oh, he thinks that you're the man in the barrel.
The what?
Well, he thinks that you're... Well, he thinks that... It's very complicated.
Who's the scooter?
What?
The scooter, the car.
Sergeant Enright.
That's the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Is there a back door to it?
Uh-huh.
Now, you keep your mouth shut. Keep it shut.
Sergeant Enright! There's a man and he's got a gun.
I'll take care of it.
It's Bartolone.
Bartolone?
Bartolone.
You sure?
Yes, Bartolone. Guido Bartolone.
Sally, it couldn't have been Bartolone.
Why? Why couldn't it have been Bartolone?
Because
Why?
Bartolone's dead.
Dead?
Very dead.
Buried last November.
Oh, that's dead. That's why you had that funny look on your face and why you wouldn't say anything until my husband got home. You must have thought I was crazy.
Well,
He did look like Guido Bartolone, Mac. He didn't say he was, but he didn't say he wasn't. And you know, he had that,
Sally, I told you this morning that Bartolone had a scar. To a mind unrestrained, any man with a scar could be Guido Bartolone. The mind works in very strange ways.
My mind's on overtime. Maybe I could help by going down to headquarters and looking at some mugshots.
Don't. We deliver. Enright, order all the shots of men with scars and get them back here as soon as you can.
I was going to go down to the warehouse and look for my china, but I'll stay here if you like.
No. It'll take at least a couple of hours to pick the shots. Why don't you take the car and drive her? I'll go with Enright.
Okay, thanks.
But before you go, see if this picture means anything. Is this the man in the barrel?
No, but that picture belongs in a barrel. It's terrible. Who is it?
Sherman. It's a self-portrait.
Well, he must hate himself. I don't know, Mac. I can't tell from a painting.
Okay, how about him? Was he in the barrel?
Hey, that's Kenny Williams. Where did you get a picture of Kenny Williams?
Was that the man in the barrel, Sally?
No, oh, I don't know. Oh, Mac, I couldn't say for sure yes or no on anybody. I looked and I screamed, and when you scream, you scrunch up your eyes. Ah! See? Where'd you get the picture?
Oh, from Jim Wainwright.
Oh, I'm surprised there aren't dart holes in it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, Wainwright hates Williams. Hey, the only reason he'd have a picture of him is if he wanted to use it for target practice. They went at each other last July. Oh, it was fantastic. Williams nearly took off Wainwright's head with a fastball, and that was only batting practice. And then Wainwright went at him with a bat. He missed. He never was much of a hitter. He could be costing us the pennant.
Thanks, Sally. Go dish hunting.
Bye, Mac. So long, Scooter.
What'd she call you?
Oh, I think, Snooker.
No. Scooter.
Yeah, Scooter.
Bartolone called cops. Scooter.
So? Oh, no, Commissioner. Bartolone's dead.
Get a court order. We'll exhume the body if there is a body.
Can I use your phone, sir?
No phone, in your car. And, put a tail on Sally. She's the only one who can identify the corpse, and the killer might know that.
Right, sir. Look, Commissioner, it's going to take about an hour to get that court order, so why don't we spend the time wisely at Sam's? You could use some steam and a rub out. Rub down. Sorry.
How was your game?
I didn't bowl very well, as long as you asked.
Sorry I asked.
Will you get going, Pilot? We got a schedule to make.
That's my foreman, Mr. Dickerson. This is Mrs. McMillan, the commissioner's wife.
Miss McMillan, huh? Well, your dishes ain't here. We looked.
Would you mind if I looked?
We're way behind. Your husband's people kept piling down in headquarters for 2 hours, and I ain't got a man I can spare to go with you.
Well, I could do it. I'd know my barrel in a minute. It's got my little face on it.
Look, I got my orders, and I follow them. No unauthorized personnel allowed in the warehouse.
Orders? I thought that you were the boss.
Yeah? Being foreman don't make you the boss. Gray is the head man.
Who's Gray? I thought Mr. Buchanan was the owner.
Well, they're partners. Buchanan takes care of the office. Gray runs the warehouse.
Well, where is Mr. Gray? May I speak with him, please?
Well, if you can find him, go ahead.
He isn't expected back today.
He's expected to be here all the time, but since he ain't showed up for the last 3 days, it ain't likely he's gonna be here.
He's missing?
No, he's not missing.
Well, if he hasn't been here for the last 3 days, and you don't know where he is.
Well, he's just like that lady. He takes off sometimes.
And nobody cares?
Buchanan cares. He'd fire him if he wasn't a partner.
Thank you.
They say get her acting like that.
Brady here. Sam's? Okay, thank you. Mr. McMillan's secretary called. He's at Sam's if you need him.
That's where we're going. Who's Sam?
It's a steam room a couple blocks from headquarters.
Have I met Sam?
I don't think so, ma'am. He's been dead several years.
Well, that wouldn't stop me. Mac? 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 Where are you?
Sally, what are you doing here?
I just came from the warehouse. Guess who's missing? Buchanan's partner.
Guess who's in front of you? Sergeant Enright.
Oh, I didn't see you, Sergeant.
Well, I'd like to keep it that way.
You're right, of course. Maybe I could get you a towel.
That is my towel.
Oh, out. Out. That's what I've got to do. Which way's out, Mac?
Through the door.
Through the door. You're always right, the door. It was nice to see you, Sergeant. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
After 6, sir, they're probably closed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mr. Davidson, what are you doing here?
Oh, a little of this, a little of that.
Oh, this is our new neighbor, Mr. Davidson. This is my husband, Commissioner McMillan.
Oh, you're 922-3299. I never forget a number. Excuse me.
He won't bother me anymore.
Here, let me give you a hand with that.
I need a little help with mine, too.
Commissioner, what are you doing here?
Well, I was thinking of asking all of you the same thing.
Mr. Wainwright and Mrs. Sherman called me after you interviewed them. They wanted to look through their stored things. Mr. Wainwright wanted a baseball glove.
A baseball glove. And why are you here, Mrs. Sherman?
I'm looking for my husband's gold-plated baby shoes. When it comes to sentiment, I'm a regular dish rag.
Telephone.
Mr. Buchanan, we just passed our new neighbor, Mr. Davidson. Do you know him?
Davidson. He's our accountant.
I'd like to see a picture of Mr. Gray.
Bob Gray?
Your partner.
Oh, may I ask why you want to see a picture of Mr. Gray?
Yes, you may ask. Do you have one?
Oh, if you're thinking that... Well, it just couldn't be. I spoke to him this morning. From Mexico City.
It's okay at the cemetery, sir.
I'd like to see the picture, Mr. Buchanan.
Certainly. Certainly.
No, it wasn't Gray. I know he didn't have a beard. Anyway, how could he have been in the barrel if he was in Mexico City?
Have communications. Check that call, Sergeant.
You didn't believe him.
I don't believe anybody in a murder case.
I believe you. You don't believe me.
I believe you.
He believes you. It was me that didn't believe you.
You do now?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Sergeant Enright, your court order. That's the casket.
Okay. Open her up.
No body.
No body.
No body. Nobody. Well, I guess that's it.
We'll cover it up in the morning. That's all for tonight.
So Bartolone is alive and well and living in we don't know where.
My apologies.
My acceptance.
Hey, there's someone over in those bushes.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
There's something under me. A body.
Don't panic.
Moving!
Sally, not me.
Oh, man. No offense, but this is one of the few things I don't want to share with you.
Stay down, you'll be safe.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't be caught dead here. Where are you going?
To help Enright. Now stay down. Sally, it's me. It's gonna be all right. Stay down.
My knees won't bend.
Enright, he's headed toward the mausoleum. Enright!
Oh, Mac, I'm so glad you're back.
I'm sorry, sir, but I think we've lost him.
Mac, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. You all right?
Yes, I'm all right. Enright, are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Well, anyway, everyone's all right.
Well, where do we go from here?
As far away as possible.
The trouble with this case is all we know is what we don't know.
What don't we know?
We don't know who shot at us. We don't know who was in the barrel. We don't know why Bartolone played dead. And we don't know why Gray, Sherman, and Kenny Williams are missing.
We do know we have 3 suspects, don't we?
Right. Mrs. Sherman, Wainwright, and what's his name at the warehouse? Buchanan. The interesting aspect about this case is that it is not your conventional whodunit. What we have here is a who did they do it to. If we could find out who they did do it to, we could figure out who done it.
That makes sense. Casket splinters.
Here, look, you got yours. before you got him.
Would you like to join us for dinner, Sergeant?
Oh, no, thank you, Mrs. McMillan. I think I'll just go home, fall into bed. I'll have dinner in the morning.
Oh, good night, Sergeant.
Good night, Sergeant.
Oh, Commissioner.
Yeah?
About those splinters, sir.
They were shooting at her.
I believe
Killer's
so.
nervous. He thinks Sally can identify the body. We were right to have a tail put on her. And have a good night's rest, Sergeant.
Thank you. Nothing could stop me now, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
It's another one of Mildred's famous missives. Hiffle, gone to Massachusetts. Grapes upon the broom. Funek. First one. Hiffle, gone to Massachusetts.
Hiffle. Hi, folks. Gone to Massachusetts, my sister's. Gone to my sister's.
Grapes upon the broom.
Grapes upon the broom. I know. Drapes are in the bedroom.
How'd you know that?
Hiffle is always high, folks. And as for the drapes, well, that's what Mildred and I were working on today.
I think you're bluffing. All right, Funek.
Let me see it. Let me see it. Funek. Phone's okay. The phone's okay. Phone's working.
Oh, good. Let's go to bed.
Mac, what were you and Sergeant Enright whispering about tonight?
Oh, we weren't talking about anything.
Mac, you can tell me. I won't be nervous.
We think they're trying to kill you.
Don't tell me. I'll be nervous.
Sit. Everything's gonna be all right, Sally.
Put it in writing. Okay.
Yeah, there it goes again.
Wait a minute. Let me get it. That way I'll learn how to handle it until we get a new heater. Mac, which one of these thingamajigs do you turn? Mac! Mac!
What?
Bartolone, he's dead!
Bartolone's alive.
Somebody killed him, look! Look!
I won't answer you. I don't have to. I'm off duty. Yes, I have to. I'm a cop. I wish I were a doctor, then I wouldn't have to answer you. Hello. Yes, Commissioner, this is... Oh, yes, sir, of course I'm awake. In fact, I was doing my push-ups. What? Yes, sir, I'll be right over.
What were you doing here, Guido? What happened?
I'm waiting for you. I hear steps. Then someone comes up from behind me. The next thing I know, you're carrying me out from the basement.
About what time did you get here?
What time? About 7.
It was just before we went to the grave.
Well, I'm sorry. Who died?
You did, Guido. We were digging you up.
It's all over. It's nice while it lasted.
Why were you dead?
Camouflage. The mob was after me. I didn't want to make book anymore. I had it up to here. I figured once I was dead, everything would be easy, you know, for the missus and me. Once I was dead, life could begin all over again. Huh? But the commissioner had to come around and look for me. And I had to come around and look for you to tell you to lay off. Oh, commissioner.
Can you give us a description of the man who attacked you?
He was not too tall, not too big, not too wide.
Just your average run-of-the-mill attacker.
Hey.
Commissioner.
Yeah.
You were right, sir. The previous owner must have built a wine cellar down there. Guess the maid was a booze hound.
Anything else?
Yeah, barrel marks, rust. The killer couldn't get away with the barrel the first time, so he must have hid it down there.
And he must have come back for it tonight.
Look, Commissioner, I hate to ask this, but can I go home to bed?
See you in the morning.
Thanks.
Good night, Sergeant.
Night.
Night.
Well, if you don't need me anymore.
We were just about to have dinner. Have you eaten?
Well, lady, I've just been choked.
Would you join us?
Be too much trouble.
No trouble.
Dessert? Why not? Waiter, do you have any of the biscuit tortoni? It's good for the throat. You know?
No, sir, we don't.
Then skip it.
Let me have a check, please. You staring at?
Oh, His ring. His ring. The guy that choked me had a ring just like that.
Was it gold with a red and blue
No,
design?
it was
Can you remember
more-
if it looked like something he might have had in college or something? Logan had a ring like that.
Hello. Yes, this is Sergeant Enright speaking. No, Commissioner, I'm not asleep. I'm wide awake, sir. Logan? Yeah? Yes, sir. That's very interesting, sir. It seems to me that the question really is who is Logan working for? Hmm? Yes? Yeah, well, I think that would be a very good idea, sir. Excellent. Yeah, so I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find out where Logan lives, and then I'll pick you up. Yes, sir, in about, 20 minutes or so, okay? Right, Commissioner, I'm on my way.
Mac, do you think it was Logan?
I didn't say that.
You're thinking that.
A ring is kind of slim evidence, but things are beginning to fit together.
Such as?
Such as, if it was Logan, he was in this house to get his barrel.
His barrel?
Sally, nobody saw the barrel being taken out because no barrel was taken out.
Of course. He hid in the line.
Only when he came back after it, he stumbled into Bartoloni and he had to slug him. Now, there are 2 men on duty outside, so you'll be okay. Now, go on to bed.
Go to bed? Where are you going?
To see Logan. Enright's coming after me. Go on to bed.
After what I've just heard and what's happened in this house, I only go to bed in that bed when you're in that bed.
Sally. You've made good time.
Yeah, but I got a ticket.
Did you find out where Logan lives?
He's at the airport.
Oh, you got him just in time.
No, we got him just after his time. He's dead.
But at an airport? Now, what would he be doing at an airport?
Sally, if you had a body, I mean, if you wanted to get rid of a body, where would you dump it?
In the ocean. The middle of the ocean. Mac! My china. They didn't dump my china in the ocean by mistake, not in the Pacific.
Well, there's obviously been some kind of a mistake.
Oh, my china. Fishes eating off of my china.
What do you make of this, sir? Found not far from the body.
Pilot.
What?
That belongs to a guy who used to work with Logan. His name is Pilot. Morning, Sergeant.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Where'd you find him?
We picked him up on his way to work about 7 this morning.
Where were you, Pilot?
I told him 14 times I was bowling. You know bowling, 3 fingers in the ball and 2 out.
Until 7 this morning? I don't believe you.
You gotta know where I was?
You want to be charged with Logan's murder?
All right, I was with a woman. And I'm a married man. I'm not married to that woman.
We have to know her name and address.
No. I got pride.
Well, swallow it. Now, where were you?
I'm telling you the truth. Look, I get along good with Logan. I get along good with everybody.
Book him.
Let's go, Pilot.
All right. All right, you got me. Right in the pride. Anne Georgette Sylvester, 506 Dartmouth. Waitress at the Red Moon.
Call her.
Yes, sir.
Has my wife got to know?
Only if you tell her.
I do, and I'll never bowl again.
Tell me, how did you get along with Gray?
Well, we were, buddies.
When'd you see him last?
A couple days ago, just before he left for Mexico.
Why did he go to Mexico?
Well, he said he was going on business, he always does, but tell you the truth, I think he was going to play around with the girls, He thought he looked 10 years younger after he shaved. Personally, I liked him better with the beard.
Shaved his beard, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing illegal about that, is there?
We have to show this to Sally. I think this is our man in the barrel.
What about that phone call we're checking on from Mexico?
We can't locate it because it doesn't exist, I'll bet you. Buchanan lied about that. And get Mrs. McMillan for me right away.
Yes, sir.
Get a car with 2 men. It's Saturday, so find out where Buchanan lives and pick him up.
Yes, sir.
The line's busy, sir.
Well, keep trying. And when you reach her, tell her I'm on my way. And get me a squad car.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. McMillan. This is Mr. Buchanan from Movers Emporium. I have some good news for you. We've located your china.
That's wonderful, Mr. Buchanan. When can you deliver it?
First thing Monday morning.
Monday?
Yes, you see, today is Saturday. We're closed. I wish I could get it to you sooner.
Maybe I could come and pick it up myself.
Well, I don't see why not. As a matter of fact, I'm at the warehouse right now, so if you're coming right away, I can meet you personally.
I'll be right there.
Fine. I'll be waiting, Mrs. McMillan.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Buchanan.
Thank you, Mrs. McMillan.
Hi, Fergie. How you doing today?
Fine, Mrs. McMillan. Where are you going in such a hurry?
Oh, I'm going to the warehouse to get my long-lost, ever-loving Aunt Sophie's blue-stained Wedgwood china. You want to come with me?
Against regulations, Mrs. McMillan. I'll be right behind you.
Then you can help me load.
I'd be glad to help.
Car 5, we have your home now, sir. Over.
Thank you. Sally?
Mildred, who's this? You sound like you're calling from a tunnel.
No, Mildred. I am not in a tunnel. Yes, Mildred, I'm in a tunnel, and you're a witch.
Oh, by the way, Commissioner, I was just talking to the drapery man. The new drapes are ready, and I'm going to hang them today.
Fine, Mildred. Put Mrs. McMillan on.
You'll be thrilled to know that she's on her way to the warehouse. Mr. Buchanan called and said they found her dishes.
Get me Ferguson tailing Mrs. McMillan. Quickly.
Code 3. 904, code 3.
Excuse me, Mrs. McMillan. Have to answer a call.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Buchanan.
Hello, Mrs. McMillan. Step in.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Where is it?
Right over there.
Where did you find it?
They were sent to the airport by mistake. You want to check the barrel to make sure?
Oh, no, I can tell it's mine. It's got my little face right on it.
Right, sir, right. Mrs. McMillan. Mrs. McMillan.
Who's that?
Oh, my husband put a tail on me. Wasn't that sweet of him? We're in here, Fergie!
Stay right where you are, Mrs. McMillan. Don't move, Mrs. McMillan. Turn around, Mrs. McMillan.
I'd really rather not. It's against my better judgment.
Nevertheless, I do recommend it.
I hope this isn't gonna hurt too much.
Where's my wife?
In a barrel.
Which one?
On the conveyor belt.
Sally! Sally!
Mac!
Sally!
Mac! Where are you?
Sally!
It's okay, Commissioner. We got him.
We got him, Sally.
Oh, that's good. Where am I?
Halfway to Istanbul.
But I'm not dressed for Istanbul. Embezzling.
Buchanan had been at it for years, apparently. Gray finally caught up with him. What with his temper and all. Was kill or be killed.
So Logan was working for Buchanan.
Buchanan had to kill him because he knew everything.
If you two can forget the case for a minute, how about a nice round of applause for the maid who glued the china together? Well, I don't know about you two, but I'm going up to my room and shave my legs. If you've got 'em, flaunt 'em.
Well, at least we had our first meal on Aunt Sophie's china.
And our last.
Well, it's okay. We only needed it to give the place a proper start.
No more superstition?
Absolutely none. We just can't move anymore.
And we might just as well consummate our lease.
I'm game. Even with barrelitis, I'm game. I will draw the new drips. Are you sure you're not too tired?
Mm-hmm. Then we'll sleep.
Is that dark enough?
Mm-hmm.
Hold it! Police!
Quick, into the car.
There's no way to turn around, sir.
Reverse, hurry up.
Yes, sir. Use my gun, sir.
904, code 2, Marina Drive. Come on, let's go.
Beautiful shot, sir. Right in the tire.
I was aiming for the windshield.
There's just one thing I've got to know, sir. How'd you know it was the Mullaney brothers?
Well, the important thing is we caught him.
Oh, no, sir. The important thing is that you made my weekend. The chief said that if we cracked this case, I was invited to his houseboat. 2 days in the sun. Closed eyes, open beer, and you're welcome too, sir.
No, I've got something far more exciting to do. Saturday brunch at my mother-in-law's.
I think it's very sweet of my mother to have us over to brunch today.
It's very sweet of your mother to have us over for brunch today.
What? Why are you acting this way?
What way?
As though you had to go to the dentist. Every time you have a dental appointment, you get that look on your face. And don't ask me what look. You know what look.
As if I'd rather be going any place else.
Exactly.
Any place, that is, except to my mother-in-law's for Saturday brunch.
You like my mother.
I adore your mother. Everybody knows I only married you to be next to your mother. She's a warm, charming, delightful woman, and I love her desperately. But she's the world's worst cook. If she weren't my mother-in-law, I'd have her arrested for what she does in the kitchen. She could get 1 to 10 just for her tuna fish.
You're exaggerating. You still got it.
I have.
Mm-hmm. Imagine an old married lady like me and I still hear bells when you kiss me.
What's even more amazing, I hear bells when he kisses you. Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, come on in. You're just in time. I just took the muffins out of the oven. And it's such a lovely day, I thought we'd eat on the terrace.
Oh, what a nice idea. It'll be like a picnic.
Mind if I do and the ants don't show up?
You want to bet?
Did you say something?
Oh, Mother, it was nothing important. It was just Mac making another one of his indecent propositions. Man's terribly oversexed, you know.
How delightful.
How about we have a toast? May we all be in heaven 30 minutes before the devil knows we're dead.
Skull.
Here's mud in your eye.
I thought it was a wonderful toast. Enright taught it to me. It's Irish. He taught me a curse. You want to hear it? It's a corker.
What's a brunch without a curse?
May you die and be reincarnated as a chandelier.
A chandelier?
Hang by day and burn by night.
That's Irish?
Jewish.
Enright gets around.
Thanks, Mother.
Now I know you level that curse at.
I heard that, Mac. You haven't even given my eggs a chance.
That makes both of us.
You like them. I put in something new.
The shells.
Doesn't everyone?
Ah, my favorite. Shoelaces and eggs.
Half right. Try again.
Okay, shoelaces and give up.
Shall we?
Must we?
You silly raised him properly.
It wasn't easy. Time was, you couldn't take him anywhere.
It must have been terrible for you, dear.
How is it that all women have the capacity for making a full-grown, mature male feel as though he's only 8.5 years old?
Oh, did you see? We got our pictures in the Daily Post at the charity ball.
It looks like I have a double chin.
Nonsense. It's just a shadow. Doesn't Mac look nice in his tuxedo? Mm-hmm. Oh, I almost forgot. The editorials about Mac.
What does it say?
They were commending Mac for his speech the other night at the Chamber of Commerce. Something about,
No, thank you.
cracking down on police corruption.
What police corruption?
Leave it to the Daily Post. It came to my attention that off-duty cops never get traffic tickets, and I'm against that kind of favoritism. I don't care who it is behind the wheel. A moving violation is a moving violation. If anything, we've got to be tougher on ourselves and each other, because we're supposed to be setting an example. Thank you very much.
Bravo. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. He loved it.
Well, it had nothing to do with police corruption. The Post just burns me up.
Who's that? Oh, excuse me.
It really is pretty awful, isn't it?
If the chickens knew about your mother, they wouldn't even bother laying the things. I didn't know that Betty Crocker married Attila the Hun. Did you?
Oh, Francesca, that's
No,
awful.
no. I'm just beside myself,
Oh,
Emily.
of course you are. Oh, Johnny, we'll help. Wait. This is my friend Francesca Fairborn. She lives downstairs in 9A. It seems Francesca's dog has been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Dog-napped? Is that a word?
How do you know your dog just didn't get lost? I mean, if you checked with the pound.
I don't need to. I received a ransom note. That's why I brought my troubles to my friend Emily here. I don't keep that kind of money in the apartment.
Francesca, this is my daughter, Sally, and her husband, Stuart McMillan.
Yes, yes.
How much are they asking?
100.
Yeah, it's become a real problem. A lot of drug addicts have been stealing dogs and then selling them back for $100, $200.
$100,000.
$100,000?
For a dog?
Not just a dog. It is the Princess Anastasia. But even the Queen of England doesn't have a lineage like hers.
$100,000.
Can you describe her?
Oh, her breed is Pekingese. Her coat is cinnamon with just a touch of fawn.
You mean brown?
It has the luster of silk. Oh, and the way she walked. So dainty. So a true princess.
Well, from your description, Mrs. Fairborn, I'm sorry, but all I seem to be able to understand is unless you really knew your dog, why, it would look pretty much like your everyday cinnamon Pekingese.
Perhaps it would help if I described my husband, George. He is 6 feet tall. He has curly hair and blue eyes.
You've lost me. I mean, why would it help us find your dog if we knew what your husband looked like?
Oh, they took him, too.
We have the one you love. Get $100,000. Don't call the police. You'll hear from us soon. When did you receive this?
I found it in my mailbox shortly before I went up to Emily's.
How long has Mr. Fairborn been missing?
Well, George was taking Anastasia to see Dr. Carmichael for a checkup this morning. But actually, the last time I saw either of them was about 8 o'clock last night. But I wasn't feeling well, and I took a sleeping powder. Anastasia.
Mrs. Fairborn, about your husband.
Come. Where did I put... Oh, yes. Here is the princess. And I have others, too.
What a lovely bed you have here.
We enjoy it. Oh, the poor sensitive darling. I know she won't sleep a wink till I get her home again.
Mrs. Fairborn, you don't seem to realize that your husband's life is in danger.
Here is a picture of the princess when she is just 3 months old.
Would you by any chance have a photograph of...
Is it?
Lying around?
Of whom?
Your husband.
Oh, of course not. Well, now, wait just a moment. I think I may have one in the living room. Please, might we adjourn? I would like to adjourn. I don't want the princess to return to a germ-laden boudoir. She is so susceptible. Please, do come. Do hurry, please. There he is, holding Anastasia. It has been a great comfort for me to share the princess at this time of anguish. It's almost like having her here with me. Thank you, Mrs. Mackenzie. Thank you, Mr. Mackenzie.
The name, Mrs. Fairborn, is not Mackenzie, it's McMillan. Stuart McMillan.
How nice.
I'm the commissioner of police.
Police? Ah, well, I assume you will treat this matter with confidence.
Well, it is a police matter, you understand.
You are in my home because you are Emily's son-in-law. You are privy to certain confidences because of that relationship, not because you are police commissar.
Commissioner?
Whatever. Not being a member of the criminal element, it is of no interest to me who is on the police force. Good day.
A kidnapping, Mrs. Fairborn, is police business. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to take this ransom note down to police headquarters for laboratory analysis.
I most certainly do mind.
I can assure you that the police will do nothing to interfere with...
The police are already interfering. Now, if you will excuse me.
Where are we going?
See, Yekel, I hate to ruin his weekend.
Watch your fingers. Why?
This isn't my day.
Why?
Why isn't it my day, or why do I hate to ruin his weekend?
The latter. Why are we dashing off to see him?
Well, granted, he's not much to look at, but he is my chief of police.
Yes, but why are we going to see him now?
Because it's Saturday and it's a perfect time to discuss a kidnapping.
Mrs. Fairborn doesn't want the police involved.
I heard her, Sally. With these ears of mine, I heard her. Just so happens that these ears are attached to the commissioner of police.
I know, darling. Very nicely, too. But they also belong to Emily's son-in-law, and that's who Mrs. Fairborn was confiding in.
It's the kidnappers who don't want the police involved. Bank robbers and murderers feel exactly the same way. They think we're a real nuisance, too.
It's just, Mac, that morally, no, I think I mean ethically. Oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. But Mrs. Fairborn wasn't talking to the police. She was talking to you, Stuart McMillan.
Wrong again. She was talking to some guy named Mackenzie.
You have a very unfair way of winning an argument.
Thank you.
Mac, you said it yourself. She was talking to a man named Mackenzie, so in a sense, you were wiretapping, only without the wires.
We'll argue the ethics of playing old wiretapping later. That is, you and Mr. Mackenzie can argue about it. And the commissar will be busy trying to earn his salary. No, I don't want to discuss it anymore.
That's because you know I'm right?
Sally.
I should worry. I have a clear conscience. I can sleep at night.
Wait here. Pardon me.
Yes, sir.
Did you happen to see Mr. Fairborn this morning?
Yes, I believe it was around 9 or 9:30.
And did he have his dog with him?
Let's see, he checked his mailbox, then he went down to the garage to get his Jaguar, and as I remember, yes, he did have that thing with him.
What thing?
The dog, if you can call that thing a dog. Me, I got a German Shepherd home that eats more than that for breakfast. You can't call that scroungy thing a dog. It's more like a pet rat, if you know what I mean. Now you take my German Shepherd. There's a dog that a man doesn't mind being seen in public with, if you get what I mean.
I believe I do.
And his name is Duke.
That's a very nice name.
That's what all his friends call John Wayne, you know, Duke.
I've heard that. What time is the mail delivered?
About 9 or 10. But Duke, that's a name that a man isn't ashamed of. Now, hey, Duke! Roll over Duke! Move Duke! Kill Duke! If you get my drift.
It would be well nigh impossible not to see what you mean or to get your drift. If you see what I mean. Thank you.
Nice fella. I think he gets what I mean.
You're not healing.
Oh, very funny. Where are we going?
Yankel's houseboat.
Mrs. Fairborn said
Sally, I thought we had that all settled.
I will not be party to a breach of ethics.
Are you telling me you won't drive me to Yankel's?
I will not drive the police commissioner to Yankel's. I will not be party to a...
Okay. St. Sally of Assisi. I'll drive.
Huh. I wouldn't involve the police. I'd just pay the money. All that would matter to me would be your safety.
You, of all people, Sally, should know better. The police would never do anything to jeopardize the victim's safety. It's a police policy to stay in the background until the victim is safe.
Mac.
I don't want to discuss it anymore.
I know, darling, but I think that he would like to discuss something with you.
He who?
He, him, that's who.
Oh.
He says to go there, Mac.
Yes, I have my license.
I'm afraid you missed the turnoff for the Indianapolis a couple of blocks back, fella.
Is that so?
Yeah, boy, the way you were zipping down that highway. You're the commissioner, aren't you? Sure is a nice day, isn't it?
Very nice.
A nice day for a drive. I mean, on a day like this, I guess anybody would just like to go zipping along the highway.
Was I speeding?
Well, we don't want to make a federal case out of it. Have a nice day, Commissioner.
Officer.
Yes, sir.
Aren't you going to write me up?
Write you up?
You're aware of my recent edict?
Oh, yes. You mean about no favoritism when it comes to traffic violations?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, yes. I'm quite aware of it, sir. I read it several times.
Didn't you think I meant it?
Oh, yes, sir. Of course you did, sir.
Well, then, write me up.
Are you sure you won't have any afterthoughts? I mean, people do change their mind.
No, I won't change my mind.
It's human nature to change your mind.
Officer, you were doing your duty.
Oh, yes, sir. If you say so, sir. I'll put you down as being very cooperative.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. I mean, it's an honor. I mean, you're welcome. Your license will be returned to you at the hearing. That's part of your new system.
Yes, I remember.
Well, see ya.
Officer.
Huh? Oh, the ticket.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You stuck to your guns even when they were aimed at you.
Without a license, you're not allowed to drive. And if you recall, I got your license.
I'll drive, officer.
You got a license, ma'am?
Yes, officer.
Fine. Well, I'll see you.
I could take a cab.
I'd rather you paid me than some strange cab driver.
I hear the fares have gone up.
We rely on tips. Please don't fool with the meter while our cab is in motion.
Hi, Commissioner.
Hi. Hi, Mac. Sally? Hey, come on aboard and have a beer. Sorry, it's not a social visit. Oh, what's up? Francesca Fairborn, you heard of her? Oh, sure. Kidnapping. Her husband. They're demanding $100,000. The ransom note warned her not to call the police, and that's the way she wants to play it.
And that's the way the kidnappers want her to play it, too. Doesn't she realize the risk she's taking, not letting us in on it? Somebody's got to convince her that their lives at stake here.
Sally, why don't you convince Francesca Fairborn?
How can I convince her when I'm not convinced myself?
What aren't you convinced of?
That the police should be involved.
Oh, Sally, this is a serious crime.
It's just that Mrs. Fairborn wants to handle this herself, and it seems to me that...
If Mrs. Fairborn wants to handle it herself, that lets the kidnappers free to kidnap someone else, or to take her money and not return her husband, or to just raise the ante. Does Mrs. Fairborn want to handle that?
He's absolutely right. Well, he is.
You know, Sally, your father taught me never to play high-stakes poker with a stranger. And I think the high stake here is a man's life.
I'll talk to my mother. Maybe she'll swing more weight with Mrs. Fairborn.
Atta slugger, why don't you do it now? Come on, Enright. You and me have to see a man about a dog.
Yeah, well, there goes the weekend.
Are you shopping or just looking, sir?
The doorman said Fairborn drove a Jag. This is his. Have it impounded.
Yes, sir.
Mr. McMillan is here to see you.
He says it's a police matter.
This is Bolinsky. Dr. Carmichael's busy.
So am I. Has Mr. Fairborn been in today?
No, I don't believe so.
The men are on the way to pick up Fairborn's car, sir, and I told them to check out everything completely. A real thorough check. You know, fingerprints, carpet stains, ashtrays, tire treads, glove compartment, the whole works. You know, these guys usually don't leave any Gesundheitservice behind, but it never hurts to give a complete check. Like the commissioner's told me many times, you know, police work is merely Gesundheitservice, the putting together of 1,000 little clues into one great big fact. In fact,
Thank you, Sergeant.
Enright, Sergeant.
How do you do, Enright?
You McMillan?
I am Commissioner of Police.
Well, I am Dr. Langston Carmichael. Whatever it is you have to say better be pretty important. I've got one sick bunny in there.
Has George Fairborn been in here today?
No, he hasn't. He was supposed to be. That is, the princess was supposed to come in for her checkup. But they haven't arrived. Never even phoned to cancel.
His car's in your parking lot.
Oh, fascinating.
Yes, it is.
Now, if your curiosity is satisfied, we have work to do. Mr. McMillan, we are here to cure illness, not to inflict it. Come, Bernie. We've a bunny to save.
Well, it must be a nice business.
How do you mean?
Well, even if you lose the patient, you still have the makings of a good stew. Sayonara.
Hello. This is Dr. Carmichael. Yes. The police were just here.
How's it coming?
Almost ready, sir.
I'll make a sip. Sally, Mother, Mrs. Fairborn, I'm glad you decided to cooperate.
Well, I already ruled that decision. All these strangers milling about, everything topsy-turvy. I only did it for dear Emily.
Have you raised the ransom?
Yes, well, nearly. My attorney, Rudolph Dimrose, is bringing by the final 20,000.
The wiretap's all ready, sir. It starts automatically.
Oh, good.
Now, what do we do next?
We wait for the phone to ring. And then we let it ring twice. Then you must keep them talking as long as you can. Do you understand?
Yes.
But don't let them get suspicious. Play it cool.
Certainly. Cool. Yes? No, Oh, for heaven's sake. Lucille, really, I can't just... But... No. I didn't know. Oh, well, I really have no hope for that marriage in the first place, dear.
Mrs. Fairborn.
Dear, could you please call me back later? Ciao. That is Lucille Shortle. She's the most horrible gossip in the whole world. My dear, you just should have seen what went on at Biarritz. These two people, they absolutely were impossible. I never talk about that.
Mrs. Fairborn, quickly.
Well, I told her to call back later. Yes?
Mrs. Fairborn?
Yes.
You got the money?
No, I haven't raised the money yet.
You called the police?
It is Saturday after all, you... No, I have not contacted the police. Please, how is my dark... He hung up.
Did the voice sound familiar to you?
It was a man's voice. I didn't recognize it.
Why don't I make some coffee? I'm sure we could all use some. Come, show me where you keep everything.
Yes. I think it's beginning to hit her.
Yes. Getting the note is one thing. It's impersonal. Like something you read about happening to someone else.
And she thought she wanted to handle it herself.
I think it's hitting me, too. Knowing there's somebody out there playing a cat and mouse game like that.
Maybe we should take you home.
Who are you? Rudolph Dimrose. I'm here to see Mrs. Fairborn.
Rudolph.
Francesca!
Oh, how dear of you to come. Rudolph, I would like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Carlton Mackenzie.
For you.
So thoughtful.
And the money, so difficult to raise on a Saturday. Made me nervous just carrying such an amount on my person. The streets have become a virtual jungle.
A virtual jungle.
Come on, Jane. It's time to go back to our treehouse.
I'll take her home, Enright. I'll be right back.
Who does he think he is? Who does he think he is, making a remark like that about our city? What's his name? Dim? What's his name? Dim?
Rose. Matt.
Dim Rose. Get in the car, Sally. He called our city a virtual jungle. I checked the other cities. He thinks he's been around all over the place. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Matt.
Who does he think he is?
You've forgotten. You've been grounded, Commissar.
Oh.
I feel so sorry for Mrs. Fairborn. It's so cruel of somebody just taking over with somebody like that.
She doesn't care a thing about her husband or anything.
Matt.
What?
Look! It's that dog, the princess, and then there's a man chasing her.
No, Sally, go after the dog, not the man. You, hold it.
Princess, heel. Oh, my heel. Wait a minute! Princess! Wait a minute! Princess! Pretty princess! Oh, princess!
Princess. Come here, Princess.
Princess, little champion, champion. Where are you, little champion? Princess, princess. Ooh, ooh, princess. Princess, hi. Oh, wait a minute.
Come here. I got you, Princess. I got you.
Mac.
Ah, Sally. Where's the dog you were chasing?
Home, where she belongs. Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Mugged by a Pekingese.
She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Hi, Commissioner. Wait till you get a load of this.
She's a jolly good fellow. She's a jolly good fellow.
I suppose you know that Her Highness has returned. What do you make of it, sir?
Well, she must have escaped somehow. The fellow was chasing her, got away. I didn't get a good look at him.
Which nobody can deny. Mr. Mackenzie, champagne, the princess is back.
She's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny.
Mrs. Fairborn, answer the telephone.
Oh, which nobody can deny. Nobody can deny. Which nobody can deny. Yes?
Mrs. Fairborn.
This is Francesca Fairborn.
$100,000?
Yes, I have. Collected the entire amount.
You'll get instructions.
No. No, I wouldn't be the slightest bit interested in your instructions. The one I love is safe, thank heavens. Say something, darling. If you think that philandering fortune hunter you're holding is worth $100,000, I suggest you keep him. Ciao. You wish to handle this case? Well, your wish is granted. All that matters is the princess is back. That and getting her groomed in time for the dog show Sunday.
We were talking about a human being, your own husband.
He was my indulgence. A momentary lapse in judgment on my part. Let's say a cream puff one allows oneself in the middle of an otherwise very, very strict diet. I'm certain that you understand, don't you, dear?
I certainly do, Francesca.
But your husband is in danger.
Never fear. George is the kind of man who will die in bed.
Shot to death by an irate husband, no doubt.
You were willing to pay $100,000 for this little pile of hair, but not for your own husband?
This little piece of hair is worth 100,000, George Fairborn.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit, Mac.
Dear Rudolph, please, would you keep the ransom money until Monday? I don't have a safe. I wouldn't sleep a wink knowing there was that much money in the apartment.
Francesca, would it be awful of me not to? I don't have a safe at home either. And there have been so many burglaries in my area.
We have a safe. Don't we, Mac?
Yes. We have a safe. I'll keep it until Monday.
Under the circumstances, this is indeed very kind of you, Mr. Mackenzie.
McMillan.
Oh.
This belongs to you, I believe.
Would you mind terribly keeping it for me, too? It isn't all mine, and I'd feel better if I knew it was safe.
Until Monday morning, Mrs. Fairborn.
Thank you.
Mr. McMillan, we'd appreciate a receipt. It is $100,000. And even police commissioners, after all, are only human and therefore subject to temptation.
I know what you mean. Like right now, I'm really tempted to
Mac.
give you a receipt. I presume the count is accurate. Mrs. Fairborn, won't you reconsider? The kidnappers might call back. This money could mean the difference. Now, however you feel about your husband, surely you wouldn't want to be responsible for his death.
Well, perhaps I was a bit hasty. We are exhausted. If we could just lie down,
All right, I'm going to the office. If they call back, call me right away, day or night, please.
Please, will you excuse us? Of course, darling.
night, Sally.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, darling.
Ann? Ann?
Mac, it's Saturday. You're closed. There is no Ann.
Sure there is. You. Now, look, do me a favor, Ann. Help me make a lot of calls, will you?
Right, Commissioner.
I don't understand. That woman, how could your mother have such a friend? What does she mean I'll have to think about it? What's there to think about? Doesn't she realize her husband could...
Could be what? Could be killed, Mac.
Of course he could be killed. Now, let's do everything we can. You know how to use a call director?
No, but it doesn't look too complicated.
Okay, then get me Enright, file room, and police garage.
It's getting complicated.
Find all the numbers in the Rolodex.
Mac,
What?
where's the Rolodex?
Under the typewriter table. When you get a number, buzz me.
Mac?
What?
What's your number?
It's in the Rolodex.
Mac, you're impossible.
That's possible.
Mac, another light went on. What does that mean?
What?
Oh, it's you. Hi.
Hi. Are you getting me a number or not?
Yes, I got you in right. I think. 2007.
Hello, Enright? Hello? You disconnected me. Sally. Sally. Sally,
Yes,
you disconnected me.
I did.
Why didn't you answer the buzzer?
Nothing buzzed.
Nothing buzzed. It always buzzes.
Why don't you sit here and I'll go in there and try the buzzer and we'll see whether or not it works or not, okay?
Okay.
It's a good way to find out.
Are you buzzing me?
Yes, dear.
Okay, you win.
Would you like me to get you in right now?
Yes, please.
What's his number?
553. I'll get it. He's not in. Give me the police garage.
You said the file room.
Okay, the file room.
Here's the file room.
Sammy? Yes, of course I'm in the office. Now, I want an immediate rundown on Francesca Fairborn, George Fairborn, her husband, Rudolph Dimrose, her attorney, and Langston Carmichael, he's a veterinarian, and his assistant, something Ski, Belinsky, Bernie Belinsky, right. Oh, he is, good. Send him up. Enright's here. Now get me the...
Police garage.
Okay. Hello. Hey, you're getting good.
Thank you.
But not perfect. Who am I talking to? Oh, Jeffrey's good. This is Mac. By any remote chance, is there an M.O. on kidnappers who take dogs, or raise dogs, or use dogs, or own Pekinese, Pekini? Find out everything as soon as you can.
I was working on the background checks when you called, sir. Here they are now.
How you doing, Sergeant?
Names, addresses, birthplaces, birth dates.
There's something strange about the ransom note, sir. It read, we have the one you love. I would have written, we have your husband.
Well, maybe they thought that she loved him. Oh, well, some women love their husbands. It's been known to happen.
You think they could have known they were going to kidnap him at the dog kennel parking lot, sir?
It's more than likely. It's a good choice. Saturday morning, the whole area is deserted.
Yeah, well, then someone must have told them. I'll have to run a check on all of Fairborn's friends.
Right. Call me the minute you find anything. We'll be home all evening.
Mildred, Mr. McMillan might receive an urgent telephone call in the middle of the night, so don't be frightened. We'll take it.
Okay, if that's the way you want it.
Mac?
Hmm?
What do you think is going to happen to him now?
He'd lucky to be run over by a car.
Fairborn?
No, Dimrose.
I'm talking about Fairborn.
Oh, well, hard to say.
You don't think they'll kill him, do you? Isn't that be awful? Mac, you've got to convince Mrs. Fairborn in the morning. How could somebody do such a thing to their own husband?
Who did what to whose husband?
It's nothing, Mildred.
Oh, sure. And I was born yesterday. The missus sits here like the guest of honor at a wake, talking about some grisly business, and the police commissioner tells me it's nothing.
Don't stand on ceremony, Mildred. Pour yourself a drink and join us.
No thanks. I already have one. Well, what is it, homicide?
Kidnapping.
Oh, yeah? I just finished a kidnapping. I prefer a good homicide.
Mildred, how can you read those books? Don't they give you nightmares?
No, but the newspapers do. All those unsolved crimes. Doesn't happen that way in my book. They always get the guilty party. No matter how clever they are, they always slip up. As Inspector Gerard always says,
I love you.
the criminal is a flawed individual. The problem is simply in discovering that flaw. Oh, there's too much vermouth in that. Inspector Gerard's a wonderful man. You'd like him. He lives all alone except for his faithful housekeeper, Agnes. Oh, he was married, but his wife was killed in the war. They were in the resistance together. I don't think there's anything going on between him and Agnes, but then you never know. I mean, they're both French, you know what I mean?
Two, 5. Mac, suppose Mrs. Fairborn won't change her mind. 10.
I think she will.
16.
I'm worried that the kidnappers
20.
might not call back.
25. Oh, they have to.
I hope you're right.
Strange.
What?
You always take your left shoe off first. Were you aware of that?
No, and I will not turn into a creature of habit.
Habits aren't so bad.
Like lying about one's push-ups.
You've got a bunch of nifty ones I wouldn't change for the world. Oh.
You got some nifty habits, too.
Don't you think the kidnappers will try one more time to make a deal? I mean, maybe come down in price. I would.
What?
Try again. I mean, they've gone to a lot of trouble to just take one no for an answer. Don't you agree?
It's hard to say.
Well, the first rule of salesmanship is never take no for an answer.
Mrs. Fairborn. Shut the door, Sally. Don't touch anything. Mrs. Fairborn! Stay here, Sally. Sally! Mrs. Fairborn.
What's happened?
She's dead. She's dead.
Oh, Mac.
Sally, answer the telephone. Why? If it's the kidnappers, tell them we have the money. We're ready to go through with the payoff.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello?
Mrs. Fairborn.
No, this isn't Mrs. Fairborn. I'm a friend of hers, but don't hang up. I have the money. She's had an accident, but she wants to ransom her husband.
$100,000?
$100,000, that's right.
Get your instructions.
When?
We'll call you back.
When will you call back?
We'll call you back.
No, I'll be here. I hung up. I'm so frightened.
You did fine, honey. Sergeant Enright, please.
What am I going to say when they call back?
Just fine. Enright, Francesca Fairborn's been murdered. Get over here right away. Charlie, that voice on the telephone, does it sound familiar to you?
No, I don't think so. Did it sound like he was talking through a handkerchief or something?
Maybe. It's something about it. I can swear I heard that voice before.
Oh, God bless you, Mac. It sounds like you're coming down with something. You've been sneezing like that for 2 days.
No, I feel fine. I must be allergic to that dog.
You're not allergic to me.
I just gotta be that dog.
You're not allergic to dogs.
No, I didn't.
Must be that perfumey stuff the vet sprayed on. You think I sneeze here. You should hear how I sneeze in Carmichael's. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That voice on the telephone.
Dr. Carmichael.
No. His assistant, a guy named, something, Ski, Berlinski. What was the name of the vet's assistant?
Bernie Belinsky.
Belinsky. Where is she? She's in the bedroom.
Okay, fellas.
Belinsky's about the same size as the guy I chased. Enright. Yes. Sally, could you stay here in case the kidnapper should call back?
Of course.
Okay, Enright and I have been out of visit Carmichael.
Okay, maybe I'll call Mother to come and sit with me.
Good idea. You'll be all right. Now stay out of that bedroom.
You think they'll be open on Sundays?
Of course. A sick bunny doesn't care what day it is.
The question is, sir, why would anyone want to kill Mrs. Fairborn?
It's a good question.
Well, it could have been someone who wanted the $100,000, or it could have been the kidnappers.
No, it couldn't have been the kidnappers. They called after she was dead.
Well, then it must have been someone who was after the money. That's why that apartment was such a mess, sir. They didn't know you'd already taken it.
Maybe.
Maybe? That's not a very definite answer.
No, but it's a definite maybe.
Belinsky.
Now, just what's going on here?
He's dead.
Don't want to do such a thing.
I was going to ask you the same thing. Did he have any enemies? Any friends?
I knew little about his personal life. I can't believe he had any enemies.
Well, he had one.
Yeah. You see, you've already heard. The animals adored him. Animals, you know, have a sixth sense. Ow! The bugger bit me.
It seems such a long time ago. Poor Francesca was ringing my bell. It seems years ago. And it was only yesterday morning. She had her faults, but she was a friend.
Mother, you shouldn't dwell on it.
How she loved that animal.
I know.
She was so proud. The ribbons, the trophies. You know what? I'm going to enter Anastasia in that dog show.
Oh, Mother.
It was so important to Francesca. For months, that's all she talked about.
You don't know the first thing about dog shows.
I know it's the Nob Hill Dog Show, and I know it's taking place tomorrow afternoon at Civic Hall. I assume that's all I have to know. After all, they won't be judging me.
Lucky for Anastasia, you'd be best in show, hands down.
What a daughter.
All right, everybody freeze. Are you okay, Mrs. McMillan?
I'm okay. Here we go. Hello? It's him. Yes, I have the money. No, I don't have it on me. But I can get it, though. Tomorrow. Where? The docks. Oh, no, I'm afraid that would be entirely unsuitable. The dog show. The dog show at Civic Hall, 2 o'clock. Take it or leave it. Yes, I'll have the money in a paper bag. What do I look like? What do I look like? Well, I'm a girl. Oh. Well, I'm about 5 feet 8 inches tall. I have long brown hair. Actually, it's not long. It's long in the back, but it's kind of shaggy in the front. I have that new cut. It looks kind of good.
Question is, sir, was Belinsky killed because he was involved in the kidnapping of Mr. Fairborn or because he was involved with the murder of Mrs. Fairborn?
The answer is probably yes to both. He was killed because he was involved in the kidnapping and knew about the murder.
Yeah,
Commissioner, your wife is on the phone.
Near the judge's stand. Okay.
Sally.
Mac, that was just the kidnappers that called. They wanted me to deliver the money to the docks tomorrow.
Good. It's isolated. Yekel will like that.
He will?
Makes it easy to maintain surveillance.
Oh.
Oh? What do you mean, oh?
Oh, I mean, I told you what he said. I didn't tell you what I said.
Oh?
I told him that I'd deliver it to the dog show.
Oh. Well, you're not delivering it. We'll have a policewoman do it.
Oh, no, I have to do it. You see, I described myself. I even told him about my picture in the paper. If some other woman shows up, he'll know it's a trap. It's got to be me.
It's all that confusion, Sally, all those people. It's too dangerous. No.
We can't just let Mr. Fairborn die.
I really don't care what arrangements have been made. You have no right to use that money, Commissioner.
I think I have. And I have every confidence that Mr. Fairborn would back me up in this matter.
I am certain that he would, but speaking as executor of Mrs. Fairborn's estate, I can assure you that he's not one of the heirs and would be in no position to make restitution should the ransom not be recovered.
When I last spoke with Mrs. Fairborn, she indicated a change of heart. I got the impression that she'd decided to ransom her husband.
I disagree.
But morally...
I am not a priest, Mrs. McMillan. I'm a lawyer. And legally, I'm saying that your husband will be held responsible if anything should happen to that money. Are you prepared for that contingency?
Tell me, if the kidnappers decide to kill Fairborn, are you prepared to accept the responsibility for his death? Come on, Sally.
Now, don't be nervous.
I won't.
Just be cool. You've been under surveillance at all times.
I know.
And don't be scared. There's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Matt,
What?
if you tell me one more time there's nothing to worry about, I have a hunch I'm going to begin to worry.
It's nearly 2 o'clock. Mrs. McMillan, now you be very, very careful. There's nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Sergeant. Here I go. Thanks, Matt.
She's quite a girl. She's got the moxie of a Marine.
Yeah, but some legs on that Marine. Well, I mean, even without the moxie, she'd still be quite a Marine. Girl.
Francis X. Loman, please report to the superintendent's office. Albert McTaggart, report to Silky Terrier Ring number 2. Collie dogs to be judged next in ring number 4. Margaret Wells, last call for German Shepherd number 52.
Hi, Mom. Hello, bad casualty. Good luck, Anastasia. Be careful here.
Judge John Dillon to ring number 7. Calling Old English Sheepdog number 24 to ring number 3. Francis X. Loman, please report to the superintendent's office.
Hello, Doc. How's your bun?
Oh, very well, thank you.
I'm Shirley.
Albert McTaggart, report to Silky Terrier, ring number 2.
What's the matter, sir?
I think Carmichael uses dog spray for cologne.
Look, I'm going to go around that way again.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Collie dogs to be judged next in ring number 4.
Fellow told me there's a phone call for you in the lobby.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Margaret Wells, the last call for German Shepherd number 52. Obedience dogs number 81, 95, and 27. Ring number 5.
On your feet. You're under arrest.
Hey, what's going on here? We'll ask the questions here.
Commissioner.
What is it?
That's our lunch. Fifi's and mine.
Why were you running?
Because you were chasing me.
Oh.
Why were you chasing me?
The bag.
You thought I swiped your lunch? Would you care for half? It's only tuna fish.
No. Yes, thanks. What happened back there?
Oh, well, it seems our friend came up with a very unique distraction. A couple of lady dogs in the mood for love, you know what I mean?
Is it all right if I go now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very sorry.
I hope you find your lunch.
It's a good-natured fella.
Yeah, considering you just mugged him.
You know what?
What?
The human race neglects its real heroes, you know that?
I'll buy that. Any hero in particular?
Well, the man who invented the martini, for one. Every park has a statue. Every statue is some guy sitting on a horse with his sword at his side. Where, oh where, is the statue of the man who first rode into battle armed with only 6 parts gin and a squidge of vermouth?
Here, here. I'm with you. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I'll get it.
Okay.
Hello? Yes? Right. 20 minutes.
What's the matter?
It was Yackel. Fairborn's turned up.
Commissioner.
What's the story? A patrolman over at North Beach spotted him when he was grazed by a car. He thought he was drunk. He was staggering around, his clothes were a mess, but when he questioned him, he found out it was Fairborn. How is he? Oh, he's all right. Cuts and bruises. Doctor says he was drugged, but he'll be okay by tonight or tomorrow. Was any help at all?
According to the officer who found him, Fairborn wasn't very much help at all. He remembered parking his car at the vet's, and that's it.
Maybe when he wakes up, he'll remember some more.
Yeah, that's a maybe, but there's one thing for sure. When he wakes up, somebody's got to tell him that his wife's been murdered.
Who could do such a thing?
We don't know yet. We'd like to ask you who'd do such a thing.
I don't know. She could be outrageous. It was just her way, but she never hurt anyone. No one could hold a grudge against Francesca. Could it have been a robbery?
Could it? Your apartment was ransacked. But until you check things over, we won't know if anything's missing.
The doctor says I can go home later today. I'll check things out, let you know.
We'd appreciate that.
Look, thanks for coming here like this. I know it couldn't have been an easy thing for you to do. Thank you.
How many times do you brush your hair?
100 strokes.
Every night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have your habits, I have mine.
Are you trying to gaslight me?
What?
Drop it already before I go bananas.
What?
The other shoe.
Oh.
What's on your mind?
I don't know, something about habits.
Oh, Mac, I really don't mean to make you self-conscious.
No, it's not that. It's just something to do with this case, and I don't know what, and it's really gnawing at me.
Why don't you sleep on it? It'll come to you in the morning.
Wait a minute.
You sure know how to make a girl feel wanted.
The ransom note. Francesca wouldn't let me take the ransom note on Saturday, and yet yesterday it was gone. Whoever ransacked the apartment took the note, left a lot of jewelry on Francesca, but took the note. Why?
Maybe the kidnappers put his return address on the letter.
Maybe he did.
He did what?
Well, not a return address necessarily, but some sort of giveaway.
Maybe he was afraid that the police could trace the typewriter.
It wasn't typed. It was put together with letters cut from a newspaper.
I know it had an out-of-town postmark.
It wasn't mailed. If it had been, Fairborn would have received his own ransom note when he checked the mail on Saturday morning.
Then someone must have slipped it into Francesca's mailbox later that morning. Or...
Or what?
Or... I don't know what.
Yeah, this is about the right size.
Right size for what? Why are you getting dressed?
To conduct an experiment. Where are you going?
With you. You know you can't get a cab at this time of night.
A cab?
You keep forgetting you've been grounded.
It's a habit.
Too late, Pavlov. Clues. We're at the clues.
Doesn't fit.
Oh, here, you could fold it.
The envelope wasn't folded. That's the point. You need a key. George Fairborn has a key. Where's the phone?
Wrong. No, it's nothing important, Commissioner. You didn't disturb me. What? Yeah, I'm on my way. Oh, nobody makes house calls anymore. No one but cops and crooks.
You see? No way. Fairborn wasn't checking the mail. He was delivering it.
We'll go upstairs and get him. You better get Mrs. McMillan out of the way.
Right. I'll take her home.
I'll call you as soon as I know anything.
Be careful, Mac.
Sally, that's Fairborn! Sally! Stop, you get out and call the police. I'll follow it.
Watch us, Mac. I can get him when we go around the corner. If we wait for the police, we'll never get him.
Faster, Sally, faster. Maybe we can get nabbed for speeding.
I know. I can catch him.
Sally!
Stay down. It's not safe. Don't worry about them. Worry about them.
I'll worry about him. I'll worry about the traffic, too. I don't want to get you killed.
I really can't make it, Mac. I'm a good driver. I think we're gaining on him.
Now, I'm going to find a squad car, Sally, and you've got to be careful.
Yes, sir.
That was pretty close.
You're telling me? We've got him now, Mac.
He's turning into the garage. Sally, Sally, get back! There's gas leaking! Come on.
Mac!
Sally!
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. The ransom money. Over here!
You all right, Mac? Yeah, fine. Get him out of here. I'll get the fire.
Well, it all seems to be here, sir. Well, I guess it was Fairborn who killed Belinsky, huh? Right, Commissioner?
Yeah, they were probably partners in the deal, weren't they? Fairborn figured I might recognize Belinsky's voice on the phone.
He killed him, right? Some guy to go into business with, huh?
Yeah.
Mac, now can we get back to what we were doing?
Oh, you mean you were asleep, too?
Sergeant, you're so sweet.
Well, I think I'll take my tuna fish sandwich back to the station. Good night.
Now, you figure that Fairborn came back to steal a letter, and then he killed Francesca when she found him in the apartment, right?
Right. Almost. He came back to steal the money and murder his wife deliberately. Saw the letter and realized his mistake.
Yes, but when the police found him, he was drugged.
Sedatives. Self-administered.
You're amazing.
Let's get something to eat.
I've got an idea. Come here.
On a full stomach? Aren't you supposed to wait 15 minutes?
That's swimming.
Oh, okay.